Hey, greetings everyone. It is GleeCon, and I am here again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. On our last episode, we did Nomergon as Horde, as agents of the Horde, and we beat it with Talanji, our troll rogue. That means I've pretty much done a wrap on Nomer. I still have to run it one more time. I think of the 9 characters that we do on this show, I have one that still has to do it off camera. I'll wrap that up probably tomorrow or so. We've also been reading through, we started our art series where we're covering the bunch of different art books, basically every expansion and then some got an art book of its own. So we read the Warcraft art book, which covered 1, 2, and 3. And that was pretty neat, and it actually had a lot of flavor text. And now for the World of Warcraft art book, it's just like a coffee table book that's pictures. So stay a while and listen, not to reading, but to us kind of talking our way through the rest of the book. We left off last time, as you can see, some harvest golems, which are creations of the Defius. Some Vulture sketches. I've actually just started writing some text about these harvest golems in the D&D campaign I'm making. But we're going to pick it up with environments here. So I don't know what that is. It's obviously a coastal territory here. Mountainous, coastal. I don't know. That could be desolate or something. Doesn't really say, but yeah, you got that image kind of there. Here's swamps, and it looks like trees within the swamp. This is, again, these are probably just like concept art sketches for this is what it could look like. This could be Dust Swallow or Swamp of Sorrows. Again, there. Here you have some griffins flying through, almost a la Warcraft 2, or the expansions. And this almost looks like a fungal kind of swampy area. Some things, concepts that kind of get pushed into Burning Crusades. Yeah, I think this picture with the griffins and everything, that's almost Warcraft 2. We saw this, I want to say, in the other book, the Warcraft book. These are Plaguelands plants concept drawings. These are actually, or maybe we saw them in this book, but I really feel like this was towards the end of the first book. They actually put some of this stuff out there. And they kind of, I'm not familiar enough with the Plaguelands to really know. These don't really seem, I mean, I guess you can see the red corally kind of vibe did follow, but not a lot others. These seem like undersea levels. Now this is Westlandy kind of, and then like a spooky forest, maybe almost like a duskwood. Yeah, so they're not, oh, that's Tristful Glades. I was saying they're not giving us, oh, this is Agamemnon Mills and Silver Pine as a concept. There you go. I was going to say they're not really giving us, that's a large bush. There's Tristful Glades and crystalline cave concepts. I don't know how many crystalline caves actually existed in WoW. That's cool. It's like the cave is like a fallen, it says a Burning Steps boulder, but it's like made from a falling giant or demon or something. It's kind of a cool idea, but they don't stick with that. Blackrock Mountain, nice little painting there. Here's kind of like a color palette swatch that we see. This is Tol Barad, the concept full, and Stormwind. So that's the prison concept of Tol Barad. And that's actually, you can see how the game evolved out of that. And same thing with Stormwind here. A lot of these colors, and maybe they switched to blue roofs. So actually, I think it depends on the part of the city you're in. Yeah, there's the church in the middle there. So a lot of that's stuck. This is the Desolus concept. So I really feel like a lot of this is rehashed. Like we covered some of this in the first book. So that's one thing I don't like about this book. It feels like just blah. Like they just threw some of this crap out there. Deadwind Pass. Maybe we saw that already. Emerald Paradise in Darkshire. That doesn't even exist. So this was an original concept. Oh, that's Darkshire. I see. Emerald Paradise. That's not a thing. Maybe eventually they come back around to that in like not Najatar. Whatever the Ajara. No, what's the place? I can't remember the Cataclysm Zone that's all watery. They all sound the same to me. I have a hard time with it. Knight's Hollow. Yeah, 100% we've seen this concept art before. Duskwood, Crusaders run. Yeah, this is the monastery. This is all rehashed. Now this here is a little bit more, but they're definitely just trying to fill pages at this point. That's lame. That's cool. This is the Karazhan concept. So this is new. These are actually, I kind of think that might actually be in the game. This suspended skull. Stranglethorn Veil. So that's cool. That's new. That wasn't in the last book, and you almost have like a little pygmy totem thing. Twisting Nether concepts or an Outland battlefield. They obviously don't exist, but these are maybe things that are going to start to get pushed into Burning Crusades. That's actually cool, that Twisting Nether. Yggdrasil, Ice Crown, and Magic Mountain. Now, Yggdrasil, that's cool. It's like the tree and it has like a mountain on top. But I don't remember where Yggdrasil is. I think that's in the Burning... I think that's in Grizzly Hills, maybe. Ice Crown, so they obviously way revamped that. And Magic Mountain, that's not a thing. Maybe it's a ride at Disney or something. Undersea Hills. Yeah, there's no undersea. So they originally, I guess, had some undersea concepts. Maybe those are I haven't swam deep enough, long enough to know if that exists, but Arathi Highlands? Okay. Western Plaguelands concepts, fine. Okay. More mushrooms. Eastern Plaguelands, it gets to be more red, more living, mixed in with the land, the trees with steam. There's a knight in there. I think that was in the last book. Tanarus Desert concepts. These are literally just kind of swatches. It also kind of reminds me of that game Journey, a little indie game, and almost kind of Mars-ish. It's not that as alien. It's more just straight bright desert now. And that's cool, like some holes. That's cool. Whoever did this art is good artists, but Thunder Bluff and Thousand Needles. So that's cool. We're seeing some concept art from that. I like that. That is very much what it looks like for both of them, really. So here's where it did match, and here you have some more Thunder Bluff stretching from plateau to plateau. Totem there. Environments, Plagueland trees. They're really into that concept. This must have been like a professional thing that was mucked up for that Plagueland tree stump. It almost looks like a snail. And then pillars. I don't know that there's pillars in the Plaguelands. What does that say? Mushroom trees concept. This says Elwind and Duskwood, so they're kind of comparing some trees. Elwind, Duskwood, like basically just how would a tree that was the biome that was Elwyn, how did it change in the areas that are adjacent to it, the Duskwood, Elwyn versus Duskwood. So that's kind of neat how they're doing all these Elwyn versus Duskwood, just slightly droopier, slightly deader, slightly crimped or flattened. Barrens concept, that's like a baobab, but then they eventually let them have like the full leaves on them. More silver pine forest throughout. Fellwood. Yeah, greenish. It's not as overtly like Disney with the stuff. Here's jungle plants, jungle vines, jungle trees. A mangrove tree, like a bamboo tree. I don't think they have the Fellwood being as jungly. Blasted lands. Okay. That kind of tracks with what it does look like, especially this middle one. Hillsbrad Foothills, all right, neat. Emerald Dream Vision, again, we don't really get to go into that very much. This is similar to the cutscene in Warcraft 3. Northrend concepts, again, they don't really need them because we never go there until the third expansion, but they were already thinking them up from Warcraft 3, really, and the expansion. This is like on the back of a giant octopus, like a big castle. It's actually cool. Structures and weapons is what this makes a part of. So I don't think we've ever seen anything like that, but it would be quite cool. Yeah, this is like some kind of battleship. Troll destroyer, maybe elven destroyer. This is a crashed Zeppelin. Birds fly out at random intervals when the player climbs the ladder. That's cool if they could program that. Secondary entrance in the back of the crashed Zeppelin. So I don't think there was ever a crashed Zeppelin really zone. This is like a fort, a little hut out of a stone thing in the ground. It says bundles of spears, maybe. So weapons, weapon racks, studded leather over metal for this dude. So yeah, just things. Dead Mines, Head Thief Slayer. I mean, that's cool. Very minimal concept right there for what it eventually becomes. Here you start adding the pirate ship, Dead Mines, slave pens, structures, and weapons. So this is another cool suit of armor, different shields, human shields, front side broken, battle glade stuff, orc spike shield, front back, back with the arm, single shoulder cap, basic leather shoulder, add studs and spikes, a pair of them, squarish, not soft. The knee, big, so showing the orc there. Traditional orc leather, horn, skull, stud, spike, antlers, but it looks like that's still like erased. Oh, here's cool, an in-game thing. So more pictures here. You have it says add-on maybe plate or something. So just helmets and stuff. Shoulder pads, almost like a mail here, but with like little heads. That's actually a cool concept. And here you have how it was gone from the in-game, how I guess it became sketches into the in-game thing. You have these long swords, different boots or greaves, different types of swords. That's actually pretty cool. So something Azeroth light armor, the blunderbuss. Again, they kind of got rid of a lot of these. Tauren long barrel. That's cool. A dwarven pistol. I like how they've got like this melee component to them. They should have let the guns double as like melee weapons. That would have been cool. In game. Blacksmith, kind of in-game blacksmith shop, different pieces of it. So evolving from Warcraft 3, because obviously that was in Warcraft 3. Hammers and warhammers, mauls and great mauls. So they're also definitely heavily getting influenced by like Dungeons and Dragons. Mattocks, a lucerne hammer, military pick, straight D&D. Blacksmith, more structures. A boathouse, and those exist in a few areas. Another version of a boathouse. So these are just multiple different styles of boathouse. Different options, I guess. A fish shop. I guess there are kind of fish shops. There's a big ship. I think we saw a very similar concept art to that, if not the identical one in the last book. Booty Bay, the Naga entrances, east side. So there used to be Naga entrances to Booty Bay. That's neat. That's an idea that they scrapped. Street lamps of Booty Bay, structures and weapons. This is almost like a kind of a mine thing. So that was part of the theme, I guess, maybe, because yeah, it's a hanging mine car and treasure chest. So they're kind of thinking, how can we take some of these ideas and make it as part of the motif of the actual town? Slave pen, they got rid of that. Although I think Tanara still has theirs. Bamboo cages. I can't read it all exactly, but you can feel free to pause and zoom. Strong box that holds the most dangerous captives, side views, tops. Says have an end that is, I can't exactly read it. It's not really super important. It's not like we're reading lore or anything. Here's a sketch of a bridge end. The bridge to the Westwood. I don't even think that's a thing. More bridges, the Lion's Bridge. Just different styles of bridges that could exist in the game. This has like a thing hanging from it, like a prison. There's a Stranglethorn Bridge, but that's not where they land on with that. That's cool. Gladiator Training Facility. I mean, I guess you would have to have that from Warcraft 3, and then you would need sort of that gate, Stonewall Barracks, Medium House, tent, gate to the pit. This actually kind of reminds me of, Warlords of Draenor in the beginning, when you fight the big grand melee kind of in the opening on rails sequence. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Or in Shadowlands, the gladiator fight. Small house, medium house, underground cages, trading post, seats, shop. Okay. An arena, gladiator training facility, stuff production, underground cages, seats, fire, magical shop sign, And this is some other kind of shop, maybe like an alchemy herb shop. Yeah, gypsy camp. That's not really a thing, but so this would be, I guess, a gypsy camp. Yeah, maybe kind of in BFA with the oh gosh, what is the name of that zone with the like spooky people? Some of that stuff had a gypsy vibe to it. Valgard Hall or something, Black Citadel concept, Encourage concept. It's almost in this, it's like a Mongolian almost. Human Well concept, Wagon concept. That looks like it's pulled by like a goblin, kind of. They're scratching the horses. They don't like that. Maybe they decided like it's better to not have them hitched up to some living thing that we have to try to explain. They're also scratching the slaves being pulled in the back. We don't want horses, but we don't want human slaves either. Oops. Oh. Whoopsie. This somehow I made this bottom thing come. Dang it, I don't want that. There we go. Those are the thumbnails. There's more fish shop armor, weaponsmith shop, lumber mills. These are all structures from Warcraft 2 and 3 that they're now figuring out how to put as kind of the background in the game. An upper part that's wood and lower part stone for a lumber mill here. An H2O wheel, water wheel, front, outer frame, inner frame, hammer shade, yada, yada, yada. Side view, lumber view, top view, make it twice as long. Wheel tracks in the mud. Yeah. So just more of that stuff. Structures and weapons, more catapults. And this is almost like a kind of a weird scourge / mechanical war machine. Orc or goblin, so it's kind of saying. Yeah, so it's really tougher when they give no context and they just throw image after image. I guess, yeah, it makes a coffee table book, but honestly, it's not good. And I hope the future books are a little better than this, because this is just really flipping through pictures. And they're not giving me a lot, for me to expound on with you guys. It's just literally just describing what I see. An oil refinery, just like Warcraft 2. I like this drawing. What is it of? Did we tell them next? An orc guard post, orc watchtower, orc tower, orc outpost. So again, it's just these concepts where they're taking them and you don't even know. They could be cheating. These could be concepts from before Warcraft 2 came out, for all we know. Brazier fire, a thicker wall on the outside. This is a front view of Stormwind. Okay. Stormwind gates, they definitely, they changed-ish that, but there's some things like the higher mountain. Now, towers coming out of the mountain, they didn't stick with that. Stormwind Keep and Azeroth, yeah, so things have changed. There's no waterfalls coming out of it. This is maybe a Zeppelin tower or a mage tower. See on the next page. It's a fallen tower that enters the underground. The thing for the top of clock tower, use this for the top of a clock tower, I see. So just pieces even that they want to add in. Little gallows kinds of things. This is a weird, more organic tower type of structure. And this is outer, side shots, in shots, all around. And for something they don't even ever use, it's almost like an Adobe kind of thing. They don't really use it. This is the Troll Watchtower from various angles. They definitely went away from the face in the trees kind of thing. More weapons. I like that kind of claw thing. I think we saw some pictures of people that had a weapon like that earlier. I don't know that I've seen too many actually in-game characters with stuff like that one, but these weapons are cool. I've always thought it would be cool. It's cool drawing weapons. When I was a kid, I would have eaten this up trying to draw like all of these. I like them. It's pretty cool, different swords, and that's a weird like mace with spinning flaily kind of blades on the side. I don't know how practical it would actually be to use though. Now here's how they changed a lot of these to in-game weapons. These are in-game artifacts, in-game renderings of different samurai swords or katana. This is a giant like two-handed sword. These are more one-handers, some daggers, so that's cool. They have Ningato, Epee, Kopesh, Sephora, like the makeup store, broadsword, Tetsubo. That's like these are like Japanese weapons, I think. Asai, I didn't know Asai stuff like that. Darts, bolts, scimitars, hand axes, machetes, hatchets. That's like a jousting lance. Saber, estoc, falchion, katana, Talwar, Gladius. That's like straight D&D. So they're just naming them off of things from D&D, and then like they can put them in the game. Look at the eyeball at the end of that falchion. It's kind of cool. Orc War Claws. Those are pretty cool. Troll Blades. Shark Teeths with an F. Troll Darts use normal throw. Yeah, that doesn't even exist. Various orc one-handed weapons. Telebeam. I don't know what that is. Maybe a current wing blade can be wing-shaped. Tauren weapons, like an anvil at the end of a thing. That's actually a cool concept. And these clubs are also really cool. That's a Tauren halberd. Those do kind of stay in the game, at least with the NPCs. Here's the picture from the cinematic in the game. And these are all snippets of the cinematics. So they're kind of their netting, how they're rendered, then before they get the textures on them, and then after. Beautiful effect there. Kind of showing more and more texture layers added on, and the end product is pretty impressive when you see where it began as a net. This is where the Night Elf in the original cinematic fights the Orc Warrior, the Druid, the Warrior. So you see the kind of storyboard, and then you see how it's fleshed out, pre-texture. Here you have the Forsaken Warlock, some various concept arts, and then you see how it ends up. Also cool pre-texture. It's still pretty dang neat. And the possible staffs. This is that Night Elf Druid again, sketch, and you see kind of some kind of notes, Night Elf Druid, concept designs, and then they show how it ends up. And then I guess we're going to end it with a few promotional pictures. That is like a Doomguard kind of creature. This is like a poster. Oh, it's Samwise, as I was going to say. It looks Metzen-ish, but actually I often get Samwise and Metzen kind of confused. But maybe some sort of mine right there. And then they're showing a Tauren with fist weapons punching a goblin in a machine. It's actually pretty cool. This is like a Tauren cave. And on the outside of it, you see an Orc Blade Master fighting, like cutting the hammer in half of a dwarven like lord or whatever. So that's like Warcraft 3 stuff. Here's one of the Worgen in Silverpine, a bunch of them Worgen actually. And then you have a Naga, and you have almost like a Scarlet Crusader and a Trog, so various villains. Then you have Visions from Korea, so like a Korean version of some of these. I think we saw this picture maybe in the last book, but it's kind of weird, like gnome, dwarf, human, night elf. So kind of like the Alliance factions, but all female and definitely weird looking. And then you have a Tauren. Maybe this would be the Druids. So maybe you're seeing like Night Elf and Druid and Tauren. Then you have the Horde faction. So you have the Tauren, the Troll, the Orc, and I guess that's supposed to be a Forsaken because you can see her bones. So again, all female. The Blizzard Christmas card of 2003. So that year with a Santa Orc with his pet Sleeping Wolf. That's cute. And a singing little baby Orc. And there's another one because they had already put all the Christmas cards in the previous thing. Howling Wolf, I guess maybe singing carol. So that's it. That's the end of the book. Not for resale. So this book exists. It's out there, but I don't even know where this comes from. What the deal is. And I'm really hoping that the next one is different, is better. And maybe I read some weird bootleg version. I don't know if you know that I'm straight up wrong, but I did a little research, and it really felt like this is the art of World of Warcraft. So like art of World of Warcraft, and I want to say it was like 2005. Yeah. So yeah, if you look here at say like this version of it, that's the same cover. That's the Art of Warcraft. See how there are other versions. These are all different expansions. I wish I could see different pictures. See, again, same cover. That's the back. These are all similar pics. Yeah, so I really think that was legit. I just don't think that there is a lot of... Those are ones you can find on eBay. That's just not... It's just a weird, low-budge book. Yeah, you can see somebody flipping through it right there. Oh, what is that? That might be a different one because that one's got a lot of words that ours did not have, and a lot of pictures ours didn't have. So I think that there are expansions and that leads into that because that's from 2015. So, all right, cool. Look, this person made a slideshow of it. Yeah. So, and their slideshow is the same. So other people have done what I've done. I'm the only one that annoyingly talks the whole time while it's going on. So if you want to hear my inanity while I look through the book, there you go. You got it. We got another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thanks everybody so much for watching and for listening. I'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft. Peace out.